give you an example. Little bit of a, there's a story today. Somebody at it's the American Spectator somewhere. If not that, I'll get it here in just a second. Obamacare's been up and running 6 years. A guy has recorded every lie about it Barack Obama has told. From you get to keep your job and doctor and policy if you like it, premiums down $2,500, deductibles that get lower, how much people are saving now, how many people have signed up, every lie that has been told for 6 years. That hasn't been dealt with. And it made me realize something. You've got in the Republican campaign here, both Trump and Cruz, and maybe Kasich. Well, you want to talk about grab audio soundbite. Friday, I'm sorry to prepare you for this one, but I just thought of this. If I can find it real quick. Kasich. Where did I put Kasich? Yeah, grab soundbite number 13. He has nothing to do with what I'm going to say here in a moment. It's just when I said his name, it reminded me that, well, he's just delusional. But the thing is, I don't know if it's practiced, purposeful delusion or if it's actual, real delusion. As a Meet the Depressed yesterday, Chuck Todd, interviewing Kasich, he said, Ted Cruz's campaigns repeatedly called for you to get out, saying a vote for you is a vote for Trump. If you thought your position in this race strengthened Trump, would you get out?
Chuck, I'm beating Hillary by 11 points. I'm the only one that can win in the fall. And as you notice, the narrative over the last week has been, what is wrong with the party? Kasich's the guy that can win the general. Some people have said Kasich would be the best president. I mean, get out for what? If I'd have gotten out, Trump would be the nominee. He would have won Ohio. And frankly, we'll win some districts in Wisconsin. We will move to Pennsylvania, where I'm basically in a statistical tie with Trump. And when we go to New York and everywhere else, we're going to pick up delegates. It's absurd. It's absurd. You know, if you really want, let them consolidate behind me, because, frankly, I'm the one that can win in the fall, and I'm the one that can get the crossover votes.
There's a guy that's won one primary, his home state of Ohio, talking about how those two guys ought to get out and coalesce behind him. He's the only guy that can win in the fall. Now, is this just politics? Is this just somebody trying to sound positive because that's what you do? Or is this more serious than that? Because one thing Kasich is doing is harming Cruz. I mean, if you want to say he's harming Trump, fine. But remember the Cruz theory. And by the way, speaking of the Cruz theory, Wisconsin. Who knew? Who ever thought in this entire primary process that Wisconsin would be where we learn pretty much everything? Wisconsin is on April 5th. That's 1 week from tomorrow. The Cruz theory has always been in a head-to-head race with Trump, he will trounce Trump. Because throughout the primary, Trump has gotten, take your pick, 30, 35, 37% of the vote. And all of the other people who are not Trump add up to 65 to 70%. The Cruz theory has been that 65 to 70%, a good portion of it, will coalesce behind him. And therefore, in a two-way race, he will trounce Trump. Well, that's going to be, besides Kasich, Kasich makes this not totally pure, because Kasich's going to get some votes. But in Wisconsin, we're going to find out if that theory actually can hold up. And the polling data right now, Cruz and Trump are separated by a point. I think it's Trump 36, Cruz 35 in the polling. And in L.A., I say L.A., California is getting close. Nobody saw this. What's the number in California? Got to read a paragraph here to get the number. LA Times poll, September. Nope. Now, Trump 37, up from 24. Cruz is at 30. And Kasich is at 12. Trump had a much bigger lead in California, the point is, than he does now. Cruz is gaining ground there, and its margin of error time in Wisconsin, according to the latest polling data. So Wisconsin is going to be if even with Kasich in the race, if Cruz can beat Trump there, then there will be something to his theory of a two-man race, and Cruz will triumph because of the anti-Trump vote being so statistically, supposedly polling data-wise, large in the GOP primaries. Now, what I was going to say before the Kasich soundbite, this guy's written his piece on Obamacare, chronicling every lie that Obama has told. And I think it's the kind of stuff that needs to be in this campaign. What do we hear in this campaign about Obamacare? From both candidates. Again, I don't know what Kasich is saying about it. That's it. It's exactly right. Cruz says, on day one, I will repeal Obamacare. And Trump says that he'll get around to it at some point, too. And then that's it. And everybody goes, yay! I don't know how many people, it's 6 years old, Obamacare is now. And with every passing month, the tentacles of this intricately woven web of deceit called Obamacare become more deeply embedded in the fabric of our society as an entitlement, as something a lot of people think is a freebie. And it's great to say I'm going to repeal Obamacare, but that just signals it to people who already know what Obamacare is. I know Republican primary, most Republican voters already get it. But I think, remember, the ultimate opponent in this race is going to be whoever the Democrats throw up. Whoever the Democrats nominate, we're going to throw up after the Democrats nominate somebody. And whoever is their nominee, they are going to be the ultimate enemy, the ultimate political enemy, the opponent here. And therefore, explaining why we're going to repeal Obamacare, candidates might think, I don't have time to waste on that. There are too many other issues that I've got to detail, I've got to explain myself on. Look at the riches that Obamacare offers to any candidate as a way of defining himself and defining what he believes, a way of explaining the horrors of liberalism by explaining why I'm going to repeal Obamacare. And go into some of these and, do not spare any information on how many lies have been told about it in order to get it passed, how many lies are being told now to make it look much better than it is. Yeah, you're going to repeal it. A lot of people brought to the campaign that were not involved months ago who hear you say, I'm going to repeal Obamacare. They may not know why. They may think it's okay to repeal it. They may not. There's some Democrats being brought into the Republican primary by Trump. Who knows what they think about Obamacare? But my point is, it couldn't hurt to explain why you're going to repeal it, because when you get into that, you are defining what we're running against. And it's the essence of it. You're defining what has gone wrong in this country, what has gone and continues to, and that is liberalism. Say, folks, I erred. It is California that Trump's 36, Cruz 35. Wisconsin has Trump 32, Cruz 30. Both margin of error. Both Trump has lost significant ground in both places in recent weeks. But the California number is it's an LA Times poll. Maybe it's a field poll in the LA Times, but everybody's shocked by it. Because Trump had such a double-digit lead. Well, he's had double-digit leads most everywhere. Wisconsin, however, the place to next focus. And quickly to the, Hillary? Oh, yeah. The FBI is going to talk to Hillary now, we're told. Remember what happened to Martha Stewart? She got sent to prison for lying to the FBI, not for anything else that she did. Melinda Henneberger, who used to be at Time Magazine, is now where? She's editor-in-chief at Roll Call. She was on America's Election Headquarters on the Fox News channel, Eric Shawn interviewing her. And here's her reason. Here's her explanation for why I support Trump.
I have wondered if part of the reason isn't that a lot of the very popular national talk radio people like Rush Limbaugh live in Florida, have places in Florida, just as Trump does. That's just a theory. I don't know that to be the case. But in Wisconsin, they have really lashed out at Trump as
what
not
in the
a
world?
conservative.
That's it, Friday. Zip it. Zip it. What in the world? So, first place, I haven't announced support for Trump or anybody. But even if I had, because I have a house here, like Trump does? That's the editor-in-chief at Roll Call? Are you kidding?